Hello and welcome back to my channel Game Dev Journey. I'm Andreas, and in this video I want to show you my journey through the development of my first game, Santa's Coming to Town, which I plan to release for Android devices on the Google Play Store in the first week of December. So first let's have a look how the game is working right now. The play button, and so you can move, collect the presents, swipe left to go left, or swipe right to go right, and if you fall off the bridge. So now I want to show you the progress I've made in the last week. So first I created a lot of assets for the level. I created a forest prefab so I can go through it, and also decomposed where it decides whether I show left or right. I made the corner position for going left and right. It looks pretty similar, but there's a difference. I will come to it soon. Also I made a prefab where it comes from first to a bridge, straight bridge, and decomponent bridge where you decide if you go left or right, and also a corner for going left and going right. When I go inside in one of these prefabs here, looking at the prefab itself, the mesh is created with Blender, but as we see, this channel is mostly dedicated Unity. I don't show how we made it. If you want to also have videos of how to make models in Blender, just write in the description. I will look if I can make a video about it. And in this prefab I have beside this mesh also blocks, which just are boxes with a box collider and a rigid body, which means the player cannot pass through them. Especially on the rigid body I unchecked use gravity, because if I had checked it, the gravity would act on the object and they would just fall down. And also I checked the box X kinematic, which means the player can't interact with the object. If it would be unchecked and the player collides with the box, it would be pushed away, and I don't want that for this. And also now let's go to a team component where the player has to decide where to go, because beside these walls I also have them here, so the player can't go in this region and don't fall through the ground. I have a ground box here. I also have several box colliders. Some of the one at the best. This is the box collider called turn check. It has a tag turn check, so it will be useful later. And in the box collider I have checked the is trigger property, which means the player can pass through it without any problems, and its event is triggered when it's passing through this box. This trigger is done inside the code, so we'll now go to the code of the player. There's an update method which is called there's an on trigger enter method, which is always triggered when the player is colliding with a box collider, where its on trigger event is checked. So in this I check if this player is colliding with a box with a turn check tag, and then I set the turn check to true. So when the turn check is set to true, the player can check if there is a swipe. So first I want to show how you can program a swipe detector. I go to a script, swipe detector. I got this code online, and I go with you through it now. There's an update method which just checks if there's swipe. I implemented one for mobile and one for the PC. It works quite similar. In mirror you just go over to touches which were on the screen, and it checks if there was just a touch beginning and sets the position of the finger, saves the position of the finger where you touched it. And also when you release your finger from the screen, it also saves the position where you released it. For PC it's just a mouse button click. You check if the left mouse button, that's 0 here, is clicked, if it's clicked, I save this position as finger down position, and when I get release the mouse button again, then I save the finger up position. Now I have a position where the screen was clicked and touched and released. The next step, I now have to detect if this was a swipe between these points. So first I check the distance between these 2 points in vertical and horizontal. In vertical, I just check if the position, Y position, is how far it's away, and if it's greater than the minimum distance I have for a swipe. I set that to 20 pixels, so you have to swipe at least 20 pixels that it's checked that it's vertical is a correct swipe, and for horizontal it's the same, at least 20 pixels you have to swipe. If that's okay, then I go and check which swipe was bigger. Was it the up or the horizontal or the vertical distance? If the vertical distance was bigger, so the swipe from left up to down, I check if the position of the finger where you put it down and where you released it is smaller than 0. I here first is the finger down position minus the finger up position. So if you probably clicked here at the bottom of the screen, that's possibly position 0, y equals 0, and now you click and you drag up here and release it here. Here is y equals 500, so 0 minus 500, a negative number, so you have swiped up, otherwise it was down. The same also for the horizontal movement. Here checks the x position and checks if it's smaller than 0, then you have swiped right, otherwise you have swiped left. Then I send this direction to this method, send swipe, where I created a data struct here which just saves the start position, end position, and the direction I swiped, and then I give this information to the onSwipe method, which is here an event, which comes in really handy because I just say there's a method with which has to take swipe data, and I can do with it whatever I want. So I go to the movement method, where I implement the swipe method, which is just quite easy. I just say swipe detector on swipe and plus equals this method. And what does this method do? It gets the swipe data, so it first checks if the turn check is available, so this turn check is set when the player is inside of the box. Let me show where do I have one. The player's inside of the turn check box like this. It's set to true, so in this code it checks is it inside the box. Okay, then it takes either the player swipe right or left. If he swipe right, then the boolean for turning right is set to true and for left is false. If you swipe left, the boolean for set right is set to false and the boolean for left is set to true. And also I save in my player statistics the swipe direction of the player. Now I've set the left or right turn for a player correctly, so I'll go back to my prefab here and see that also 2 additional boxes, which are also box collider with the trigger event activated, and just look at the turn right box. It's just here in the corner, so when the player comes close to this and enters this box, it should turn left. So let's get to the code of the player. They are implemented also in the onTrigger enter, but if a player is in the turn left box and turning left was active, so he swiped left, so the turning left property is active, so then he should turn. I also implemented this method. This method is just there to make a smooth turn so that the player doesn't turn immediately right or immediately left, so it's in a smooth way. So first, if it is not turning at the moment, I set the start rotation to the current rotation of the object, and the target rotation, where should it go? I check the swipe, where did I swipe, I swipe left, okay, where is he currently going? Forward, okay, now he has to go left. So in the code or in the game, if you see, this would be forward. If I swipe left, it should go left, and so the direction of the player is set to left, and this target rotation is set to 270 on the y-axis. The y-axis is this up-down axis, and 270 degree means he goes this direction. If I swipe left and he is also going left at the moment in this direction, he has to go in this direction, which is backwards, and has a rotation of 180. And if he's going backwards in this direction, I swipe left, he has to go in this direction, which is right. So I set the direction to right, and the rotation to 90. And if he's going right, I set the rotation to forward, the direction forward, and the rotation to 0. And this except it's the same for if you swipe right, you just have to go into a direction. So when he's going, you swipe right and he's at the moment going forward, he should go right and rotate it to 90 degrees, and the others are quite similar to the one above. So when it's set, I go back to here, and now I have the start rotation, the end rotation, and the turn is set to true. So in the next view goes to here, and now that's the current rotation of the object, the target rotation where I should want. Then it checks is the current rotation more than 1 degree away from the target rotation. Then I have to rotate. I use this log function. I give it the current rotation, the target rotation, and how much he should go to the target rotation, and then it does it for me. And in each update method, as you can see, each update method is calling this turn method until he's closer when 1 degree to the target rotation. If it is, then he goes to here and sets it directly to the target rotation, turning property boolean to false, and also is turning left, right, and check properties to false. And then the player has rotated in the direction he wanted to rotate.
Thank you very much for watching until now. I really appreciate it. The video got much longer than I intended. If you would prefer less code in my videos, please let me know in the comments below, and I wish you all the best. See you next Sunday.